The UFC 314 press conference took place today.
Brother.
And honestly, man, this press conference was really, really good. I'm not going to lie. I've never really done a press conference breakdown because they're all shit. But this was the first good one I've seen since Strickland and when he was going to Adesanya, and then you had Pereira up there. You guys remember that one.
You're going to break a fucking nail. Calm down.
I'll break your fucking face.
So we'll really just break down each fighter that was up there on the stage. There was a lot. Honestly, you had Bryce Mitchell. He was locked the fuck in as always. You had Diego and Yair, two Mexicans going at it. It was honestly pretty insane. We'll start with Volk. So Volk got like two questions. They straight up only asked him about two questions. The first question was like very generic. It was just like, how do you feel coming back? Typical like Volkanovski. Not typical Volkanovski. Typical media question. Just the typical like, did you eat breakfast today? Hey, how was school today? Kind of question. Just boring, shitty question. Then the second question, it was about the same. It was just like, I don't know. Volkanovski, he was Volkanovski, but I will say he seemed very hyped up, honestly. He was over here talking about he's going to win the belt back. He's going to bring it home to Australia. Honestly, I am picking Volkanovski. You guys know that. And, you know, I do think Volkanovski is locked in. He's in the best shape of his career as well. I think there's a very good chance Volkanovski could win this. Obviously, if I didn't think so, I wouldn't be picking him to win the fucking fight. But obviously, I'm a bit uneasy on the pick. But I honestly think this is he's very locked in. Let's just say that he's very locked in. Best shape of his career. He even cursed. I rarely hear Volk curse. He was like, I'm going to bring this fucking belt home back. Or belt home back? I'm going to bring this home. I'm going to bring this belt back home. Oh my. Dude, I've been hanging out with like the Diaz brothers or something too much.
I appreciate every single one of you, and I'm bringing that fucking belt back to Australia. It's coming with me, baby. Let's go.
But yeah, that was it for Volk. Diego Lopez, first of all, I didn't know this guy spoke English. No offense, no racism, nothing. I didn't know this guy spoke English. Maybe he just recently learned it, but he was over there speaking a bit of English. And I guess we'll just get to it now. Him and Yair Rodriguez straight up just were going at it.
Culón.
Oh.
Culón.
Oh.
Dímelo. Culón. Culón, ¿sabes por qué es culón? No le pegaron a Diego contra tu equipo.
Say it to my face.
No le pegaron a Diego no le pegaron a Marc contra tu equipo. Escucha. Le pegaron a Marc contra tu equipo, ¿sí o no? Esperando el momento correcto estaba para decirte eso en tu pinche cara, loco.
Oh, we were
Tú me
waiting
la vas a pagar a mí por Marcos, güey.
And you guys
Sí me pelas la verga, güey.
fight me. Is that what you want to fight me?
Toca Yagi de mi equipo. Toca Yagi de mi equipo y cogerás a tu consecuencia con confesión.
Don't talk about my team, man. Don't talk about my team. Don't talk about my team. Get it. This is for Bryce. Bryce, after the fight, would you be open to saying a prayer with Mr. Silva?
One of the media people, they kind of asked like an instigating question, and Diego kind of answered it. And then I think someone else like asked another question, and the media really wanted these guys to freaking fight. But yeah, I mean they were obviously trying to instigate, and it worked because these guys were just fucking barking at each other in Spanish. It was actually pretty crazy to see live. Very unexpected, especially from those two. I would never look at Diego Lopez and think, oh, he's gonna be the one that's gonna fight someone on stage. But they almost fucking fought, man. Obviously security was there, but that was a pretty crazy thing. Apparently it was over. I saw people saying on Twitter or, on YouTube, they were saying that. What was it? It was something about the team that they spoke about the team, and Diego did say something like, "What he's on a big losing streak or something." So Diego did talk shit about Yair too, and he said he was on a losing streak, which is kind of true. I mean, Yair was over there. He was talking about he might get a title shot if he beats Pitbull, and that they should make him versus Pitbull and that they should make him versus Diego, in September in Mexico, which would be cool, but like, Yair should not get a title shot, even if he beats Patricio Pitbull. I'm sorry. Like, fuck Evloev. I don't like Evloev. He's a pedophile, but you got to give him a title shot. Sometimes, sometimes the bad people do got to get thrown a bone every once in a while. Just look at John Jones.
Can I get a song? Man, shut your bitch ass up.
But yeah, Diego and Yair just almost freaking came to blows. I think Diego at one point reached in his pocket and he had like there was like this taco. I swear he had this like meat taco in his hand, and he was gonna throw it at Yair, and I think Yair caught it with his mouth and he ate it. It was just weird. And then like, I don't know. Then like confetti started falling, and I think they looked up and there was like a piñata. It was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but moving on from that, so that was heated, honestly, and I really want to see that fight. Like, I would love to see Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez. That could be a firefight in the future. But Michael Chandler, just Michael Chandler things, generic, just like, I'm gonna knock out Pimblett with these American hands. And even though I am picking Chandler to knock out Paddy Pimblett, and we'll get to Paddy because I think we'll get to Paddy, but Chandler, I am picking him to knock out Paddy, but I very generic, just very generic. He's trying a little bit, but it's just generic. What do you guys want me to say? Chandler is just, he tries. I give him respect. He tries. You know, he is an exciting fighter, but honestly, just what do you guys want me to say?
When I hit people, they go to sleep. I don't need a jingle to try to sell myself.
Paddy Pimblett was he's very boring. Paddy Pimblett is very, very boring. He's kind of like, honestly, he can talk trash sometimes, but then when he's like up there, it's just like, it's like he folds. Like, even do you guys remember when he was calling Ilia Topuria hand sanitizer boy like last year, like 2 years ago? Like, he's just shit. He's kind of shit at trash talking. Like, he can do it in interviews. He's like kind of funny in interviews, but then when he's actually in front of the person, he's just like, he folds. I mean, he literally dapped up Ilia Topuria last week and fist bumped him, and he's kind of a, I don't know, man. He's kind of a shit. Like, Chandler was like, oh, I'm gonna knock out Paddy Pimblett, and you know, you're kind of waiting for like Paddy to have like a cool response. Is Paddy gonna? What is Paddy gonna say? And they cut to it like a wide shot, and you just see Paddy just on it, just sitting with his hands crossed. Like, dude has like, he's worse than O'Malley. At least O'Malley kind of tries. Now O'Malley's shit too. I love O'Malley as a fighter, but as a personality, he's terrible. And honestly, so was Paddy, man. Dude, if Paddy Pimblett was not, had no accent, he was just some American white guy, he'd be as bad as Bo Nickel. I'm sorry. He'd be as bad as Bo Nickel, bro. He's got no personality, man. Like, again, I'm waiting for some good one-liners. It's just, oh, Scousers, we don't get knocked out, and
I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out.
Paddy at one point, and I'm might be mixing this up with Embedded, but I'll still put the clip in if I could find it. But Paddy does mention something about, you know, lad, people say I always leave my chin up, but I have a granite chin. I've never been knocked out.
You know, everyone thinks that I'm going to get knocked out because I leave me chin high. But I told you, this chin's made of granite, lad. I'm not getting knocked out. I've never been knocked out before, but
I think that is a freaking horrible mindset. He straight up is like, yeah, I leave my chin up, but I'll never be knocked out. Guys, if you are, bet the farm, as Bryce Mitchell would say, on fucking Paddy Pimblett to lose. All right, to lose. You thought I was gonna say to win, to lose. Bet the fucking farm on Michael Chandler, because Paddy Pimblett, it seems like his game plan is to still fight with his chin up in the air. Michael Chandler's gonna knock that fucking bull cut off his head. But yeah, Paddy just boring from him. I thought we were going to get a little bit of a moment between him and Chandler. It really was nothing. It was a tiny little back and forth, but these guys, they're just... Yair, again, we kind of spoke about him. Nothing much for Yair. Patricio Pitbull, nothing really there. Patricio Pitbull just... He spoke a little bit of English, which surprised me. Same with Yair. They both... I no offense, no racism, none of this, but I didn't know those guys could even speak English. So, but finally, let's get to the real stuff, guys. Dominic Reyes and Nikita Krylov. No. Well, Dominic Reyes and Nikita Krylov, it was nothing. It was nothing. Nikita Krylov got one question, and he had a generic answer, and I guess he represents Russia now. Cool. And then Dominic Reyes, I love Dominic Reyes, but he's never had a personality in his life. But I do love Dominic Reyes, and I'm glad he's on the big stage again. So that was that. There's really nothing to talk about with those two. So let's get to the meaty stuff. The stuff that you guys are all here for. Gene Silva, Bryce Mitchell. Woo. I am like very, 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 very confident in my pick of Bryce Mitchell to beat Gene Silva. And all of the media stuff has actually reinforced my pick even more, honestly. The way that Bryce Mitchell has been handling the media, the way that he's been... I did a whole separate video where Bryce Mitchell was going at the reporters a little bit because they were kind of trying to press him, and they were like trying to really grill him a little bit, and he kind of shucked them off. And here, man, Bryce was locked in, bro. Like, he mocked Gene Silva multiple times. Gene Silva was barking at Bryce at one point, which the crowd like barely... There was like 3 people in the crowd that kind of barked along. It was like so embarrassing from Gene Silva.
3.
And look, I love Gene Silva. You guys know that. I've done a whole separate video. I basically did a video glazing Gene Silva. Like, but at the end of the day, the guy's become super fucking annoying. He's always been annoying, but he's become really fucking annoying since he's like had these press conferences, and since he's had the big sort of the big stage, he's just become super freaking... I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe he's always been this way. I'm not sure, but Bryce Mitchell pretty much mocked him, in my opinion. I mean, there was a point where Gene Silva was barking, and again, the crowd barely cared. And then Bryce was talking about, I'm used to putting down dogs, and he was talking about how dogs try to get in his farm or get to his pigs. I don't know, something about dogs. And
I put a lot of dogs down in my day.
Ele disse que matou
All those dogs that like to come up to the farm, they kill my animals. They come to harm me and my family, and they come barking. You know what they all got in common? They squeal right before they die.
Bro, he cooked Gene Silva. Gene Silva, I don't know, man. I don't know. Gene Silva is retarded. Honestly, he's just retarded. Really, what do you guys want me to say? Bryce Mitchell is like, he's autistic, but like in his own like little way. Gene Silva's like the loud autistic one. He's the autistic one that's like he's going down the hall screaming, and he's really, really, really autistic. But Bryce Mitchell, he's autistic as well, but you know, he's a cool autistic guy. He's the autistic guy that's got a cool Pokemon card collection or whatever the fuck. Anyways, why are we talking about autism? Let's actually talk about... Yeah, so Bryce Mitchell, he pretty much mocked Gene Silva. They did a face-off, which we can talk about the face-offs too. Most of them were pretty generic, but they did a face-off. Bryce mocked him there too. Bro, his eyes, bro, were freaking like, oh my goodness, like laser focused. Just, I've never, again, I did a video, I've never seen a fighter more focused than Bryce Mitchell. I get no like vibe or no feeling, oh no, this is going to end well for Bryce. Like, I'm pretty confident now. Even though it's still a 50-50 fight, I'm really confident, man. Gene's the opposite. Gene is over here like, he's barking, he's trying to emote, he's trying to get the crowd hyped. He's acting like a retard, whereas Bryce Mitchell, he don't give a shit about the crowd. He just cares about Jesus and winning the fight. Like, this guy, you can't beat that. But that's pretty much the press conference. Again, I mean, Volkanovski didn't get too many questions. Diego and Yair, that was really cool. I mean, those guys went at it. I actually did live react to it. If you guys want to check it out, it should be on the channel in the live section. Yeah, it was those guys, they were going at it, man. Again, it was like, it's like you go to Taco Bell and you see that every day pretty much. If you just... That's racist. Chandler and Patty, I thought it was going to be more heat, more animosity. It was really nothing there. I was pretty unenthused by those two. I know the fight itself is going to be good, so it kind of sells itself, but I wanted a little bit more. Gene Silva and Bryce was what you expected. Krylov and Reyes, who gives a fuck? And then Yair and Pitbull. Pitbull's pretty boring, and Yair, he went after Diego Lopez. We already spoke about that. So overall, a really, really good press conference. Really solid. I would say it was solid. It was a really, really good press conference. It was really solid. Whatever word you want to fucking use. Let's go Bryce Mitchell. Let's go Volkanovski, even though I love Diego Lopez too. Make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. And I don't know what else to say. Bye.